Hey there, and welcome to another Dave Does. Today we're doing a product review. So with this channel I've been changing different cameras and so forth, and I've decided I wanted to get something different to use for the channel. So currently I'm using a standard webcam. It's the Logitech C920. And I've been using this for a couple of years now, along with a what's called the Blue Snowball mic. And I've tried a couple of other things like using your phone camera if that's got better resolution, etc, etc. But I decided I wanted to get something else, and so I went onto Amazon and I wanted to see what sort of things they had. So I came up with one which was a 4K camcorder, HD digital zoom, camera for YouTube, Wi-Fi vlogging camera, 48 megapixel, 16 digital zoom. So I'm going to throw the information up on the screen anyway. And there was a whole host of these made by different companies, all with exactly the same specs. Reviews generally were pretty good. I ended up buying, or I haven't opened the box yet, so we're going to unbox it in a second. But basically, I ordered one that had two batteries and a remote. And ordered a 128 gigabyte memory card to go with it, and I've already got a tripod, so I didn't think there was going to be an issue. So, but they were all around the same price. This was a total of, I'm just going to have a quick look. Let's go to the product detail page. It was $129.99. According to this one, it is made by, let's have a look. Okay, so it's been sold by Kondiki. But if I go down to the bottom of this particular page that I'm looking at, there is so many others, and they've all got exactly the same images, pretty much, ranging from £103. Again, there's one here at £103.99, same description. Although this one's that's a 2.7K. So all the 4K ones are around the same sort of price, 130 odd pounds. Some have remote, some don't. But I thought let's open it up. We're going to do some tests with it and see if it's worth the money. So just arrived today. Hopefully you didn't get enough time to see my address. If you did, send me some free stuff. Okay. Let's do the boring one first. We have a Sans disc, 128 gigabyte. Yeah, there you go. 128 gigabyte looks legitimate, I guess. Nothing to tell me it wouldn't be. Made in Malaysia. That sounds about right. Interesting. It's a large format card rather than a micro SD. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah. So there we go. Sorry, I had to do a quick cutscene as my webcam just slipped for me. So there we go. This is the box that it comes in. I don't like the fact it just says digital camera. So it's fairly non-descriptive. So it says photo resolution 48 megapixels, 36 megapixels. So there's a whole range of megapixels. Resolution, so I can get 30 frames per second at 4K. At 1080p I can get 120 frames per second. That's not too bad. So I'll be intrigued by that one, because this one at 1080p is 30 frames per second, so it should be a step up from that. And the interesting thing is this particular webcam costs somewhere similar, like £90 I think. Lithium batteries, yada yada yada, timer, file format MP4 JPEGs. So yeah, fairly standard. Okay, let's get to the good stuff. Let's unbox this. Okay, so first thing we have a USB cable. Okay. Yeah, it's a USB cable. We have some instructions. Okay, so this comes with a stereo microphone, so I'm going to be intrigued to see how this works in recording. Let's see if the instruction manual is bad English or good English. Pick a page. So I'm just going to read. I'm just having a look. So nothing's sort of popped out. As far as English, it all seems fine. Little booklet seems fine. When condensing the microphone is not used, please store it in a dry, clean place to avoid affecting the sensitivity and timbre. Okay. Please don't store it in a place under high temperature, humidity, or strong magnetic field. Okay. Good instruction manual. Oh, I like that. Look at that book. It's like a chunky book. How many languages though? So is this going to be made up? Is it all in English or in different languages? Okay, so it's so it doesn't break it down, but it does have fairly standard look camcorder setup. Again, instructions are fairly good. No issues as far as the English. Okay. We're going to get to the good stuff now. Okay. Accessory wise, we have a little remote control. Fairly basic, but has everything you would expect it to have. 2 batteries, both saying high power. Cool. We have another USB key cable to one of the old style USB adapters. We have the audio adapter, so this is the cable from the microphone to the camera. We have the handle, so that you can kind of carry it around. Which looks kind of, it's actually quite. That's a nice smooth mechanism. I like that. I've got no reference point for it. Microphone's in its own little bag, but I like that. So it's got a DC 5-volt power supply. And there's the audio, so it's got a power supply goes in there, audio, so this is where all of this connects up to it. Does this come off for cleaning? It does. I can't twist it off, no. I actually just really wanted to see what type of microphone was inside it, but it doesn't look like that comes off, unfortunately. This I was intrigued, this bit I was kind of intrigued about. So these are your kind of filter things, these are the hoods. Filter things, hoods, the very technical term here. But apparently this is to kind of block out some of the light and stuff, so it makes it a clearer, crisper picture. And then we get to the actual camera itself. It comes in a little carry case, which I wasn't expecting, but that's cool. I like that. Straight away it feels better than any of the kind of cheapy Wish sort of things I've felt. It's heavier considering the battery's not even in it. Okay, so we've got a 4K camera. The usual kind of adapters underneath for kicking in. We've got all the usual bits on the top. So you've got your zooms, left, right zoom, which has got quite a nice feel to it. Mode, photo, and then that's for connecting the microphone onto at the top. And it's got a little cap. Do you know, I'm quite surprised. I was expecting this to be a lot worse, weirdly. And then we have the inside part there, which is pretty much the standard. There's a few buttons in there, which is your power on, menu, USB power, HD, where's the... Oh, memory card. Okay, memory card goes in there. Oh, it looks good. And the screen rotates, and... Yeah, I quite like this as far as the feel. So what we're going to do now is... So I guess the batteries, you just... So I'm a bit confused now. How do you charge the batteries up? I've got the USB bit. So I guess you have to charge the batteries on the actual camera. So it's interesting they don't send you like any sort of power. So you have to charge it off of like a standard. If you've got an adapter already, or you have to just use like a USB port on your camera, or on your PC or something like that. It's unusual. I thought they'd give you at least sort of like a charging dock or something like that. Which is what last time I had an actual camcorder like this would have been that. But okay, yeah, let's get these charged up. Let's get a battery charged up anyway, and then we'll go through some of the features and we'll do some tests with it. Okay, right, so I'm just setting this up now. It's got a very annoying turn on sound, which I don't really like, but that's fine. So I'm just trying to make sure I've got everything connected. So I'm trying this without using the instruction menus because I'm a bloke and blokes just kind of plug things in and you just kind of see what happens. And then you go back to the instruction menu afterwards to see if it works. So I have... This thing's a bit weird that you would need to charge the... to use the cable. No, that doesn't make sense. So maybe that needs to be charged up as well. So okay, so the microphone will need charging as well. So on the top of the microphone we've got this kind of decibel counter up here, so it turns it on. We're going to just see if I get this right. So right now we'll start filming on here. Is that working? I have no idea. Nope, not doing anything. Oop. Right, okay, so we've got recording resolution 4K at 30 frames per second. That seems fine. Now the question I've got is, that powered in, that powered in, that should now start. If I press that, that should start recording. But I'm getting no indication. So that's not good. It's like literally the whole controls are locked. Really strange. Okay, let's see if we can find any reasons why. So there's lots of settings in here I haven't worked out yet. So there's Wi-Fi on it, which is going to be kind of cool. Ah, we got record. Okay, we have record going. Whether we have mic on it, I have absolutely no idea, and I don't know why. So let's have a look. Hello there. Hey. So on the screen, the clarity of the video actually looks pretty good. Let's see, that's what we're currently using. There you go. Clarity on that looks pretty cool. The messiness that is my little studio setup. Okay, let's switch that over and see what a... Okay, how do I stop this then? It's still recording but won't actually stop. It's like the controls don't want to do what I want them to do, which I'm not happy about. Try unplugging the microphone. Nope. Okay, microphone plugged back in again. Nothing. So this is recording, but it's not allowing me to stop recording. I don't like that at all. Zoom's not working. Doesn't feel very user friendly so far. Everything else seems to be like, as far as the actual what's going on seems okay. So I'm going to have a bit more of a play around on this and see if we can get it to a point where the machine actually does what I want it to do. So back in a bit. Okay, so this is us, or hopefully now working with the camera. It seems to be working reasonably well. So this is on the 4K resolution, 30 frames per second, based on the room light that we currently have. So I'm already seeing on the playback screen what I'm watching on this sort of monitor, very poor flickering between colours. It doesn't seem to be picking up. Now whether or not that transfers once we actually get it uploaded onto the computer, because it could just be the screen playing it back to me, but Definitely not improving on my eyesight. So yeah, not feeling great about that so far as a replacement for the webcam, but maybe fine when we do some outside shots on it. So we're going to do some tests on externals, see what it's like with surrounding noises on some different jobs tomorrow. So yeah, we'll cut to that in a sec. Let's keep going. Okay, so we've made some adjustments now, and we've switched this over to 1080p on 120 frames per second. Also switched over to a 60 Hz on to see what the flicker rate was going to be. As far as the camera goes, it's definitely flickering a lot more than I would think with these lights going on. We have got some lights in here, but the webcam's never really been affected by it. So yeah, we'll keep trying out some different things and see if we can make this work. Okay, so we're on 4K exposure now, 60 frames per second. We seem to, by switching the refresh rate, the Hertz setting, to an automatic rather than trying to fix it at 50 or 60, it seems to have sorted out the screen flicker. What I do find, it's struggling with the white balance, so it's not kind of, whereas the webcam kind of doesn't get this shade issue. It can kind of balance out the darkness here versus the light at the back. The camcorder seems to be really struggling to kind of get an even tone on this one, but I'm going to keep playing with some settings and see what else we can come up with. Okay, so we're doing an outside camera test today. So this is just using it in a normal daylight, talking in normal volumes around natural sound. Let's see what this one sounds like. So yeah, let's do it without me in the picture. Okay, so I've done tests in multiple different locations. This seems to be about the best I can. I've had to use an additional side light here, because if I turn the side light on, this is with actual normal room lighting. Turn the side light off, like so, it feels fairly dark. So the automatic white balance isn't brilliant. For 4K resolution, I'm still seeing a lot of pixelation on the screen. I found the battery life. I charged one full battery, and again, I'm not happy with the fact that you have to charge it from while the camera's in there, so you can't use the camera with a second battery while you're charging up the first one. So you do have to have both charged batteries. I got about 30 minutes of recording at 4K resolution, 60 frames per second, which is what this is. Everything is set up on automatic exposure, because when I started messing around with manual exposures, I had a lot more issues, so I think leaving it on auto seems to be about the best I can do. Mic quality, again, until you do a test, you really don't know how much more of a mic. This is set up as standard. You can increase it, decrease it, depending on obviously environment. So if you're quite far away from the mic today, because I've got no background noise, I've left it as standard. But I found that when I was recording outside, it just didn't pick up at all, which means I need to correct it in post production, which I will do, so that obviously you get to see that. But the fact that you have to charge the microphone separately, batteries have to be charged whilst they're in the camera. The question is I mean, it might work fine. The question is for £140, is it worth it? It records at about the same quality as a lot of mobile phone cameras. In a lot of cases, mobile phone cameras are even better. So I personally don't think it's worth the money. You're better to wait until you get to the next stage, just because the amount of battery life you get, you don't even get it for a decent amount of period, and the battery seems to last. So now that may be because I'm using 4K resolution, but watching the screen at 4K doesn't seem to be great. I also use little GoPro type cameras as well, and they give me the same sort of comparison to this. So I don't feel this is an actual 4K camera. It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't look like it in the post production. So this is that problem with the Chinese cameras. Apologies for the background noises. One of the neighbours has just decided to start doing building. The fact it just says on the box, digital camera, with no specs about who the manufacturer is. It's kind of manufactured by everyone. Made in China. I was just see if there was any other information. Just says 4K camcorder, HD digital. Yeah, I'd say, I mean, it's better than some of the crap that you get on Wish, I have to be honest, from that point of view, and being sold by Amazon is quite good from that. But if you're a YouTuber and vlogger, I feel I get better video quality off of my webcam, so from a studio point of view, it's better from that way, and also from my normal camera at 1080p, it feels like it's slightly better resolution. But I'm going to keep playing with this camera a little bit more. I've played with it for about a day, tried different settings, but I feel out of the box the instructions don't really help you get it to the best of its possible quality. So if you are after a camera that's going to give you, that you can set up with a tripod and do some distance filming, it might be right, because you can't do that with a mobile phone, not really with a tripod set up. But if you're spending £150, you know what you're getting yourself into, is all I'd say on that one. So I hope you found this video useful, with some of the live demonstrations, and I've enjoyed doing it and doing it as a tester. So if you like the video, please do subscribe to the channel, and that of course is how Dave does it.